work normally. Like, we travel and train. There's a lot of dogs that have not opened their mouth in years. There's, like in Tennessee, there's no state standard. Where we come from is the land of liability. You need multiple certificates behind you, right? And in Tennessee, you can literally check a dog out of a pound, go nuke somebody in the street, and go like, I don't like his ears. Put him back, grab another one, like, no standard. So when I travel, there's dogs that have to open their mouth today. Like, I have a lot of inducive techniques, the force fetch.
And by open their mouth?
Outing, releasing on command, right? Dropping, whether it's flesh or material in training, I must do it when we speak.
And tell the folks at home why that is so important.
Well, when you're in the middle for liability reasons, number one, you're obligated, and once the suspect is secured, ideally in cuffs or detained in a secure way, the dog must be removed. When you obtain compliance, there's no longer active resistance, you have to remove the dog. You have to. Or
body cameras nowadays.
All that shit.
We cannot have 30-second outs,
Nope.
60-second outs.
Right.
Or those outs that you're seeing sometimes too, and the dog just redirects right on the handler, then redirects back on the suspect who's already in handcuffs. It's ugly.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah, absolutely. So when I travel and train, that's usually the aspect that I work on because, again, it comes from my background.
Just begging for, can please, Justin, fix my out.
And I have quick fixes. I have tools and techniques that will make it happen today. And again, that comes from the old school. And I think there's always a moment and a time, there's always a place for the old school. I'm a huge new school guy. I'm all about the modern techniques. I would much rather have my hands on a dog for weeks to make him enjoy outing, to make him understand that outing is the dog's advantage. But again, there's certain circumstances where it's got to happen. It's got to.
Especially to fix years of doing it incorrectly.
Yes. Yep. You know, I'm not going to take it too deep of a dive into behavior and tools and techniques, but there's a certain e-collar company that's making dogs bite harder. And it's the most popular, most utilized tool in law enforcement, military, hands down. We've talked about it. It delivers a deep muscle contraction. And they're saying out as they're pushing the button, and it makes the dog's jaw clamp down on what they're biting, and through classical conditioning, out now becomes in.
Bite harder.
Bite harder.
Yeah. I think I've demonstrated that with the e-collar on my
Ball.
dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're knuckleheads as cops, so the dog won't out. We go down, hard out, choke him off, line up, and let's try a recall. So we send the dog down range, decoy takes off. Here! The dog says, its tail becomes like this giant middle finger and says, bro.
Yeah.
And we push the button telling the dog, hey, come on back. And what the tactile signal says, and tactile communication overrides verbal, the tactile signal says, get down there, bite harder, because dog training 101 is shutting off pressure. God created that. There's no dog trainer on earth that created that. So these tools a lot of folks are using are causing the problem, causing it. So, long story short, man, I'm babbling. So, Davey, I was very, very blessed. I was doing some breeding at the time. So we're going back.
So we're rolling back to, you're now just getting hired with Davey.
Got hired. Yep.
Probably already, I'm making the assumption here, with your already canine background, you're already decoying for them before you're even hired by them.
Yep.
You're getting hired with Davey with full intentions of getting into the canine unit.
Yes. Yep. That was my goal. I ended up being addicted to the streets more than the criminals were that I hunted. I fell in love with police work, man, to a level that was probably unhealthy. And the dogs drew me there. So the combination of using the dog and being a cop, that was my main goal.
Yeah, because if you could start a chase and you could get a bailout, that was just one more opportunity to test your dog and let him do what he is bred and raised and trained to do.
Yep. I love the hood, bro. I was very comfortable in the hood, man. I love the hustle. I love the street. There was that line of respect. You know, they know the folks in the hood and people out there committing crimes. They know when they do shit, they're expecting a dog bite or an ass whooping. But this younger generation that's hiding behind a badge or running their mouths, like, and crossing that barrier of respect. I understood how the hood operated, man, and I was very comfortable there, you know, and even like I'm not a numbers guy at all. I can barely read, and I can't do math for shit. But I would pull the analytics of crimes, like where were the cars stolen from, where were the robberies taking place, and I'd triangulate between where the stolen cars were dumped and recovered and where the crimes committed. Like these cats are creatures of habit, like we are. There's certain parts of the county I could sit in a gas station, and every night, bro, there goes